SmackDown review, and then Saturday Night Main Event. Um, Now, want to see the live stream is working. So y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear my commentary. All right, good. So it's on. This is Jacob Cast 2024. We're going to talk about Friday Night SmackDown that was on last night, and then we'll talk about Saturday Night Main Event. It jumping off the year. We're going to talk about the match. We'll talk about some news and rumors. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section below. Y'all want to see more. Enjoy this video. Enjoy my commentary. My video is sponsored by PlayStation. It's sponsored by my favorite podcasters and YouTubers like Solomonster and JD from New York and Fightful Pro Wrestling. We will talk about some news and rumors here in this. First, we're going to talk about SmackDown, then we'll talk about Sunday Main Event. Now, SmackDown sucks. SmackDown was kind of boring. It was the same old shit. Nothing happened on the damn show. The show opened up with I think it opened up with the lady. The woman opened up the show. Rhea, Charlotte, and Alexa. They came out there talking to hype up the match for Saturday Main Event. They were confronted by the fatal influence with JC Jane and her two partners. So Clay is setting up fatal influence JC Jane and Rhea Ripley. I don't know if they have a King of the Ring this year. We'll have to wait and see, but the Clay setting this match up. Probably for SummerSlam, it looked like. Tama Tonga dropped Nakamura. Nakamura versus Tama Tonga. I think Tama Tonga won, and then the MST beat him up, and then I thought Tama Tonga was going to turn on Solo, but he dropped Nakamura. It looks like they were teasing that for a couple of weeks, but no, he went after Nakamura. So Tonga still with Solo and Tama Tonga. They did have a backstage segment with Solo and Royce Key. Let's see where that goes. Chelsea Green helped Tiffany Stratton beat who is he facing again? I think it was JC Jane.
If you're living with schizophrenia, you may be eligible to participate.
Who is he beat again? She beat Last Legend in this open challenge for the Women's U.S. Championship. Oh, I probably should put Last Legend in. Yeah, so Tiffany beat Last Legend with the help of Chelsea Green. Dan Houghton needs a major power for this. Trick Williams agreed to go one-on-one with Carmelo Hayes. They brought in that rivalry. We finally see Hayes on TV. We did get a backstage segment with Carmelo Hayes blindside Ricky Saint. There's teasing something there. I thought Trick and Carmelo Hayes had a great match. Jay Cargill down tall with Rhea Ripley in this six-man match, or this brawl that they had. Damon Priest grabbed with Keith Strokes. And then the main event with Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn. Pretty good match. Cody Rhodes got the victory. Gunther eventually attacked him from behind. Sami Zayn didn't help Cody defending against Gunther. Sami Zayn just walked away. Sami Zayn teased a heel turn. Yeah, Sami Zayn is pretty much turning heel. He been getting booed lately. He been setting up this heel turn. He been getting it for Yassin ever since he won the U.S. title. And ever since the reaction got WrestleMania. Because people love to cheer Trick. Trick is over. He should be a babyface instead of a heel. Because he's over as hell. Sami's already had his moment, been established. They told a great story with Sami Zayn with the bloodline. The moment he had with Kevin Owens. The moment he had when he won the IC title. He won the U.S. title. I think it's time we turn Sami Zayn heel. Because nobody's going to be a babyface. Because getting booed, he turned into a heel. So, might well change his character up a little bit. I think it makes sense to turn heel because Cody Rhodes needs some challengers. Randy Orton's not going to be there for a while. We don't know when he's going to come back. Gunther would move the SmackDown to give Cody Rhodes an opponent because Cody needs a big star for the pay-per-view class in early next week. Sami Zayn should turn heel because Cody needs some challengers. Yeah, so that's the reason why. Now that was SmackDown. There was nothing much on the show. Nothing happened. Pretty much boring. Same old shit. No big storyline. Now we can go into Saturday Main Event. Hold on. Yeah, so okay. Obviously, Trick William got the victory there. Tonga got the victory. Tiffany Stratton got the victory. And Cody Rhodes obviously got the victory. The Saturday Night main event. Um, this is for the women. Gonna have to put in the woman on this match. Charlotte and Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley versus alright. And now we got Jade Cargill and her new fasten. We gotta use B-Fam, I think. And then Meechin. This is a new heel fasten. That opened the show, by the way. And I think the second match was Becky Lynch and Sol Ruka in a pretty good match. The second match was alright. It was whatever. It was okay for what it was. Becky Lynch versus Sol Ruka, non-title. Match was pretty good. Becky got the qualifying. Actually, Sol Ruka won by the qualification and Becky got the qualifying. Now we are gonna get a rematch at Clash in Italy next Sunday, I think. Next week on Sunday. So we're gonna get the match for the women's IC title. And we'll see who wins that because it's Sol Ruka won by the DQ. Is he gonna win at the pay-per-view? We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. Obviously, we don't have Penta on the show. But I gotta use someone else on here. Oh, that's why it's Dragon Lee. Well, we don't have Penta on this game, so after you, I gotta use someone else. Gotta use that for the belt. Alright, the fourth match was the women's tag team titles. But we don't have Brie or Nikki on this game. Now, Brie and Nikki, I mean, well, Paige is not on the game because she came back. Brie Bella's not on the game, so actually, no, I probably don't really need that. I'll just use the format card. Actually, the main event is a tag team match. Austin Theory and Logan Paul, the Vision versus the Street Profit for the World Tag Team titles in the main event. Was a very good match. Hold on. Alright. And here are your matches. Thought it was a pretty decent show. Decent opener with the woman. Now the heel went over. Jade Cargill. Jade got the victory. She pinned Rhea Ripley. So they're still protecting Jade, trying to keep her strong. She may get a rematch or something. We could get Jason Jane get involved in there. We could get one that Clash in Italy, I'm not sure, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, Sol Ruka won by disqualification, a very good match. And then a DQ to protect both Dark. We are going to get this at Clash in Italy for the women's IC title. We'll see if Sol Ruka is going to win or We'll see what happens there. The Soul won by DQ. Now we don't have Penta or Ethan Page on the game, so I had to use someone else. Obviously, Penta and Ethan Page would match the night. That was a very good match. That was a banger. Ethan Page, it really stepping up. He showed people on in the main roster. Penta's having a very good title reign. I knew they weren't going to be a title change here because this is a stand-up event, so it's not going to be a title change on this show. It's just that these are good matches. So Penta got the victory there. And then for the tag team match for the women, Brie Bella and Paige versus the Irresistible Forces. So Brie and Paige defeated Last Legend and Nia Jax. They retained their titles. It looked like they did. Yeah. I think we all knew that they were going to retain those titles. Okay. And then the main event, Division. Yeah, it said Division was still tag team champion. I thought the three part looked like that they won, but no. The Division was still tag team champions. And after they won, Braun Breaker came out and speared the hell out of them. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so mine will go into some of the podcasters and some of my YouTubers. I'll let you guys hear from them. I thought it was a pretty good show. It was alright for it was. Not perfect. It's only 7th event. I'm surprised there were 5 matches on the show. Alright, now I can go into some of my podcasters and some of my YouTubers. Alright, we're going to Fightful Pro Wrestling. You know, one guys hear from them.
It's totally killed what was a great heel character. Like, everybody will say, oh, this
something that people would be buzzing about and discussing, but yeah, nothing. That's all I got for Saturday night's main event. We got AEW Double or Nothing, which will be a long show as they typically are, but I will be doing the coverage on NoDQ.com. And
Need a look to go straight from work to The Devil Wears Prada 2 in theaters? Just ask Google for a fit that works.
President Feta cheese. So every Walmart Plus member knows free delivery means unexpected guests.
What did you steal?
Secrets.
God damn it with the damn commercial.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world. If you do this, there's no undoing it. Disclosure Day, rated PG-13.
That's not
From the moment we met,
terrible.
we went everywhere together. Nights out, vacation.
And there's a dragon underneath Fort Knox. Yeah, this is a stupid conspiracy theory. These guys are legends in the Baja Peninsula. They went to.
So this is the Triple H show. That's also a lie. What's your commentary?
is just fulfilling
their contractual obligations to Peacock for these events, and they're starting to devolve into shows where really not that much happens. And I thought for sure we would see a title change in the main event, which was the Street Profits challenging the Vision for the tag team titles, especially the fact that this match went on last. And I was pretty convinced, especially based on the way Raw ended on Monday, that we would see a title change here, and we didn't. We didn't see any title changes throughout the whole show. So I'm going to give this show like a C+. I thought the matches were fine in the ring. A couple of them exceeded my expectations. I didn't even think the women's tag team title match was that bad, which is surprising. So overall, it was a very, very uneventful show that I can't really give a great grade to, but I can't exactly say the show sucked either because some of the matches were pretty good. So overall, it was an easy watch. It went just over 2 hours, so it's not like we were tortured to death here for 4 hours, 5 matches, 2 hours of commercials. It was a much easier watch, much more streamlined, and it was nice to hang out with you guys and just kick back and watch this one. So
same old Vision. Wait a minute.
Oh, this match did enough for me to want to see a rematch. I thought the chemistry was very good.
Yeah, same old Vision. Does anyone even take these guys seriously? Hold on. AEW, I think, comes on tonight. Double or Nothing. Alright, they're going to the other podcasters.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again, folks. Welcome to the Wrestling for Life Network. Welcome to another live stream as we bring you Saturday Night Main Event tonight and maybe some other stuff. We're going to talk about it. Lots to get into. Blow up that chat. It's going to be a fun night here, folks. So, let's go.
What we're dealing with. What would orange be? Oh. Thank you. Hang on, am I doing this the wrong way round? I think I need English this side, don't I? Don't I need English this side? English, yeah. To Spanish, that's better. Orange. There we go. Naranjaro. That ain't working. You can't go Naranjaro. What about yellow? Amarillo. Amarillo! Ah! Rio Bravo and Amarillo. Oh, it would be Amarillo. Oh!
God damn, these damn commercials, man. They get on my nerves.
Out with you guys and just kick back and watch this one. So we'll go through it here and talk about all of these matches, and I will give my thoughts. So we opened up with the 6-women tag team match here. It was Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss taking on Jade Cargill and Michin and B-Fab. Now, in my predictions, by the way, I only got one match wrong, and that was the main event. So I went 4 correct, 1 incorrect. And the reason I picked the baby faces here is because last night on SmackDown, they announced that it would be Jade Cargill challenging Rhea Ripley for the title at Clash in Italy. I'm not expecting Rhea Ripley to drop the title to Jade there. So I figured if that's going to be the case and Ripley is retaining in Italy like I expect her to, then the heels should probably win here. And they did. The match was a little slow. I want to be careful how I word things because I don't want to sound like insensitive. I don't know what's going on with Charlotte. That's my thing. Like, she just seems like a different person. You know, I mean, aside from the physical changes and stuff, like her work was confusing to me. It was reminding me of a little bit Jey Uso-like. There was a couple spots in the beginning of the match that just felt like really slow, lethargic-y. Like, remember when we were having criticisms for Jey Uso's work when we were all going through that and everybody was talking about, you know, how kind of slow and everything he is? It kind of feels like that. Even her selling, she's just flailing her arms and everything just seems really different about her, but they really keep putting over how happy she is and how she is like in a really, really good place mentally. So to me, that's all that matters. If that's the case, I'm glad that Charlotte has the confidence, is feeling good about herself and whatnot. But she even had her gear tonight that was all inspired or made from friendship bracelets that people sent to her and fans sent to her and all of that. But and her relationship with Alexa, you know, is a little bit entertaining, but it's also very weird. And there was just a few spots early on in the match where I'm like, this is fucking awful. But then it got okay near the end, and we saw this. This guarantees to me that Rhea Ripley is retaining at Clash in Italy. The finish was Jade pinning Rhea Ripley after a Jaded. So I can't remember what led up to that. Did they cheat? I forgot. But Jade wound up catching Rhea Ripley. A bunch of near falls in this match as well. And, you know, of course, Ripley, you know, has got a little bit of, you know, tension. Things aren't super kosher between her and Charlotte. So, you know, Jade's team is just much more of a unit. So if Ripley is going to wind up beating Jade in Italy anyway, I don't see the reason to beat her again here. So Jade actually got the pin on Ripley, and that's a pretty good sign for Ripley's title run to continue beyond Clash in Italy. So the heels picked up the win there. Then it was time for Becky Lynch versus Sol Ruca. Now, this was originally announced as an Intercontinental title match, and then they changed their mind because they don't have their shit together in TKO and WWE. They never do. So they kind of botched that, but this turned out to be a non-title match, and I predicted this one pretty spot on, even though I went back and forth in terms of who would win. My idea behind what they would do after was the same. I said, regardless of who wins here, this is going to lead to an Intercontinental title match. Becky is either going to cheat and beat Sol Ruca, and then Pierce is going to give Sol Ruca another chance by having the title on the line, or Ruca is going to get the win, and by default, she'll get an Intercontinental title match. And that'll probably happen at Clash in Italy, because right now, there are 4 matches tentatively scheduled. We will probably get one more, and this is going to be it. So it turned out to be a disqualification victory for Sol Ruca. Sol Ruca went for the Soul Snatcher on Becky. Becky pulled referee Jessica Carr in the way of it, and Sol nailed her. So Jessica called for the bell, and it was funny at first because of Sol Ruca's reaction. Sol looked like upset when Jessica Carr called for the bell, as if like she was going to be the one disqualified. But Jessica knew it was Becky that grabbed her. So when the ring announcer announced that it was Sol Ruca winning, she kind of still looked like disappointed. But it's a non-title match. You would only be super disappointed if it was a title match, because the title can't change hands via disqualification. So in that case, I could understand Sol being like upset, but her reaction kind of didn't match what was actually going on. She should have known that this will likely lead to her actually getting a title shot, and almost immediately after that, we cut backstage. Becky Lynch is traipsing around back there. She runs into Nick Aldis. So Adam Pearce did not make the trip for this. Aldis was there. He said he spoke to Adam Pearce, who asked him to deliver the message to Becky that she will now have to face Sol Ruca for the title at Clash in Italy. So that is your 4th official match announced for the show. Brock and Oba Femi, we're all assuming, will become official on Monday when Oba signs that contract. So that is a pretty stacked card. Cody and Gunther for the title, Roman and Jacob for the title in Tribal Combat, Jade and Rhea Ripley for the title, Sol Ruca and Becky Lynch for the title, and Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi because of what they set up last week. Paul Heyman had the contract for Clash in Italy, so they're going to make that match. And that's pretty awesome. And then I guess if they throw a 6th match on there, it might be whoever is in Danhausen's box, which many think it will be Baron Corbin. So we will see how that all shakes out come Clash in Italy. Maybe Juliet, yeah, she still hasn't gotten a win on the main roster since being called up. That could be it too. I mean, this was technically a win, but it was via DQ.
Over Ferry for a reason.
And
Last
now
night,
I'm starting to think that she might win the Intercontinental title, which means Becky's going to drop that thing again. Is she going to win it for a fourth time? You know, I almost think that
what you saw last
it's
night,
almost a little too soon for Sol Ruca, but you know, at the end of the day, what the fuck do I care? Put the IC title on her. I don't care.
Last night
I like her. She's awesome. And Sol Ruca is the future. You know what I mean? I'm not even using notes here. I didn't write anything down. This is a very casual watch through of Saturday night's main event because it was last minute. Wasn't planning on doing it. Plus, we podcasted all day today, so this is a very casual and kind of unofficial review of the show here. But after that, it was the women's tag team. I'm sorry, the Intercontinental Championship on the line. The women's was next. Penta defending the IC title against Ethan Page. I had mentioned in the podcast predictions that the last time and the only time the IC title has ever changed hands was back in '92 when Sean beat Bulldog. When Bulldog got fired and had to leave the company, and I've always compared the British Bulldog's Intercontinental title reign to Ricky Steamboat's. You know, Steamboat beating Savage in front of 90,000 people, Davey beating Brett in front of 80,000 people, and then immediately upon winning the title in those epic historic moments, they drop the title and leave the company. It is so fucking bizarre. So it's just the way it went, though. Warrior got let go with Bulldog back in those days, and Sean beat him for the IC title. And I remember I've told this story before. I was on vacation. My parents, when we lived in North Carolina, they would book sometimes some like off-season beach rentals because they were like super cheap, and we just go down there for 3 or 4 days and hang out at a nice, you know, beach hotel or beach resort. And we were down there in like October or whenever it was, and I remember we went out to dinner, and when we came home, I turned on the TV in the hotel room, and Saturday night's main event was on. Bret Hart had just beaten Papa Shango, and then Shawn Michaels got in Bret's face with the IC title, and my mind was just like blown, like, what the fuck is going on here? How did he, you know? And Shawn beat Davey, and I was just like, I thought Davey was going to hold the title for a fucking year. And here Shawn Michaels has it, and he's already got the match booked with Bret at Survivor Series, and that was just wild. And that was kind of like a reboot of the Saturday night's main event. It wasn't even on in the like 11:30 time slot. It was more like prime time. When they rebooted it, brought back or they made like a new logo for it. It was like a shell of itself. Not quite as bad as what they did in like 07 and some of those years, but it was already in reboot mode by that point, and that's the only time the IC title has ever changed hands. So I thought that maybe Page winning here might be kind of fun, but it's not time. Penta is supremely over, plus everybody loves him. I predicted Penta, after going back and forth a little bit, to retain the title here because I was thinking that you would have to have one title change on this show. So I thought it would either be this or it would be the tag team titles later on. So I picked Penta to retain here. He wound up retaining the title. Sweet-ass Destroyer for the win. Pretty good match. Not bad match at all from what I remember. I didn't write down any spots, but it was a solid Intercontinental Championship match on a Saturday night's main event. I mean, that's how I can describe it. Not bad at all. Just a title match. No title change. And like I said, this card was just, you know, full of nothing, but I'm glad that some of these wrestlers got a chance to have, like, some time. Some of these matches went pretty long, so they were able to get, you know, kind of get their own stage without the big main eventers and stuff. So that's not a bad thing. It felt kind of like a B show or something. Juliet is saying Fightful is reporting that Wardlow is in New York for Double or Nothing. Okay. Wound up retaining the title. Sweet ass Destroyer. Its main event will probably cease to exist. That's my thought on it. But anyway, that is it. That's your Saturday night's main event review in a nutshell. So thanks for hanging out in this impromptu stream. Wasn't expecting to watch the show or review it tonight, but decided last minute that we would stick around after the podcast and do this as well. So I feel like they should be the China of the tag team division. Remember when China
At Citizens Private Bank, we believe your attention is best spent on your passions. That's why...
Under this new deal that they signed with NBCU, they've done away with everything that really makes it special. And I feel like there's a shortage of unique shows and stages and soundtracks for these pro wrestling shows. Everything just kind of bleeds into one another. Every show bleeds into the next one. There's nothing that really makes them special. They all feel the same. WWE did away with the original Saturday Night's Main Event theme. WWE did away with the old school panel and the desk. WWE did away with Jesse Ventura. I guess he never really bounced back from complaining about the steel cage rules between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest last year. Nothing about these shows stands out. Nothing about these shows stands out. The only thing that they really kind of do differently is Lillian Garcia has the old school microphone come down from the ceiling, and it's very reminiscent of what happened back in the day. The stage, at least WWE tries to make the stage and the entrance look a little bit different. It very much looked like Saturday Night's Main Event. It didn't look like the typical Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown sets, so that's nice. But all in all, this is just nothing more than 2 hours of WWE putting on professional wrestling matches with no real surprises, no real out-of-the-box ideas, nothing too crazy. It's basically Battle of the Belts. It's basically what AEW did with Battle of the Belt. It's basically WWE's version of Saturday Night's Collision. There's no real surprises. All in all, this is what you're going to get. WWE is basically doing what they must to fulfill their contract with NBCU and Peacock, and they're giving them these shows because they're contractually obligated to give them these shows, being that SmackDown is on USA Network, and they're signed to NBCU to do SmackDown and these Saturday Night's Main Events. But at the end of the day, I said it on social media, no matter what we think of the WWE product, and I know a lot of us are disenfranchised with the product, a lot of commercials, and a lot of advertisements, a lot of just wasted time, low effort, low budget storylines, sometimes no storylines at all. SmackDown is in the absolute fucking worst condition I've ever seen it in. It is fucking awful. I watched SmackDown after the House of Glory show for a little bit, fell asleep. Couldn't even watch it. I watched the rest of it this morning during breakfast, and I swear to God, chat, I was watching SmackDown while I was eating my cinnamon raisin bagel and sipping my delicious homemade vanilla latte. You never had anything like a JD homemade vanilla latte, believe me. And I'm sitting there at my kitchen table. I'm watching this on my iPad. And I'm contemplating my life. I'm like, what is my life? Why am I wasting my precious life watching this obviously abhorrent television show? It is devoid of any life or any excitement whatsoever. We had nothing. Nothing of interest, nothing of excitement, nothing of note that happened on the show. At all. And once again, the best thing about the show was Carmelo Hayes and Sami Zayn and Trick Williams, the typical cast of characters. There's nothing about the current WWE product that is really resonating with anybody. And it seemingly feels like that at the end of the day, the pro wrestling aspect of what they do takes a back seat. Everything else is much more important. And then pro wrestling is somewhere at the bottom of the list. But if you are somebody that watches the WWE for pro wrestling and doesn't get enough of it, and you're wondering where all the pro wrestling is on this show, you gotta watch shows like Saturday Night's Main Event. They are the closest thing to professional wrestling that WWE does in its current state. And I know a lot of that is very difficult to find, and I know a lot of it is very difficult to consume and dedicate your time to. But when you want to sit down and watch these shows with a fresh head, you're going to see some great pro wrestling. And that's basically all this show is. There's no in-between. If you want story, look elsewhere. If you want great pro wrestling and no story, this is the show for you. I don't think we're getting any story anywhere in pro wrestling. Never mind WWE. AEW's not even giving us story. None of it is good. None of it is particularly interesting. 2026 is worse than 2025, in my personal opinion. But at the end of the day, when you let professional wrestlers go out there and professionally wrestle, then more than likely you're going to get a great show. Which is why I'm so confused as to why WWE limits the professional wrestling that we see on a Monday and a Friday night. Or especially PLE. 6 minutes here, 7 minutes there, 9 minutes with a 3-minute commercial block. Sometimes there's 2 commercial blocks in a 10-minute match. And then you sitting at home has to consume 6 minutes of commercial and 4 minutes of match. It's a very difficult watch. Saturday night's main event seemingly is the only show that WWE has that has the right formula. You get pro wrestling, there's no commercial breaks in between, and then you go to a commercial after the match is over and right on into the next. The only thing is, and the only difference I would make with these shows is that WWE throws an interview or something in between, which we did get tonight somewhat. We did get a Paul Heyman backstage interview before they went out there and wrestled the Street Profits with the Vision. We got a couple of video packages, as if WWE is trying to convince us that the tag team division is still alive and well, and how important the tag team titles are, and how important tag team wrestling is to the company. They aired this vignette before the tag team title main event between the Street Profits and the Vision. I started laughing my ass off. I'm like, you really are throwing it in our face that it will never return back to what it used to be. But it's amazing how if you let these guys go out there and wrestle, if you let these women go out there and wrestle, more than likely you're going to get a good show. Because that's the heart and soul of what you do. That is the crux of what you do, wrestling. If you don't do that, and you don't give us that, I don't know what the fuck you got. Why are we watching? We're watching for the stories. We're watching for the wrestling. Everything else should be second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. This was a thumbs-up show just based on the in-ring wrestling tonight. Out of all the matches that we got tonight, we got 5, believe it or not. Triple H is usually doing 4 on these shows. They even went a little bit over the 10 o'clock hour. Believe it or not. Usually Triple H breaks out into fucking cold sweats when he's got a 5-match card or a 6-match PLE. He's like, oh man, am I allowed? I don't know, man. I'm getting heart palpitations. I don't know if I can do it. Usually we stick to 5 on the PLEs and 4, Bruce. 4 on Saturday night's main event. I don't know if my heart can handle that. Just give us more matches, please. Seriously. Out of the 5 matches, I would say 4 of them did what they needed to do. 1 wasn't even really a match. And the other was just largely a waste of fucking time with awful in-ring, man. The tag team titles in the women's division are fucking absolutely useless. Useless. I'd wipe my ass with the fucking titles. It's fucking useless they are. God, Nia Jax and Lash Legend are fucking terrible. I don't know. That was obviously the bathroom break of the night. Bad. Absolutely bad. Becky Lynch and Sol Ruka. I was looking forward to that match, but like I said, it wasn't really a match. It was more of a setup to where the real match will take place, which they booked the rematch for Clash in Italy. Apparently, after Becky Lynch's shenanigans, she pulled Jessica Carr in the way of a Soul Snatcher and got herself disqualified. So WWE, instead of giving us that match tonight, they actually booked the rematch for Clash in Italy with the Intercontinental Championship on the line. And I actually do not mind that at all. And we'll go over the Clash in Italy card a little bit later because Clash in Italy is actually looking better than WrestleMania is, which is unbelievable to me. But when WWE has their first ever PLE in Italy, I guess they're trying to put their best foot forward, man. They're trying to dress to impress. In Italy. Everybody loves a good old Italian dish, man, right? Hopefully the creative team can sit around a nice Italian meal and get their shit together. It's looking great. We had the 6-woman tag team match with Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and Rhea Ripley against Jade Cargill and the Not So Baddies. Again, none of it's particularly interesting, but all the ladies did show up to work, which I greatly appreciate. The two matches that I think everybody should really go back and watch, or if you haven't, pick up with it at some point in the next 24 hours. Ethan Page and Penta was tremendous. Ethan Page is great. Penta is self-explanatory. He's fucking awesome. IC title on the line there. I thought we'd get at least one of these two titles. The men's titles changing hands tonight. We got no title changes tonight. Penta ended up defeating Ethan Page, and the Street Profits did not capture the tag team titles. The Vision ended up retaining the championships. Great main event between those two teams with an ending that I thought was fucking great. The ending sequence of that match was fucking awesome. So all in all, Saturday night's main event I thought was a thumbs-up show, but if you're looking for surprises or something that's going to carry you into Monday Night Raw, shock and awe, big storyline development here or a big storyline development there, this ain't the show for you. If you're sorely missing professional wrestling in WWE, these are the shows that you gotta watch, because this is where they're going to give you the professional wrestling. We'll go over tonight's show. We'll have some fun with this for a little bit tonight. This is your Saturday night's main event post-show for your May 23rd, 2026. I want to thank you guys for the support, man. We're going to try and make this weekend great. I know I wasn't live for Friday Night SmackDown last night, but after watching the show and seeing what I missed, I was going to go live today, but I just could not bring myself to do that. It is so fucking bad. I can't even tell you. It is so bad over there on Friday night. Yeah, you got people on social media who tend to think that the show is still good. I don't know what these people are watching. Legitimately, I mean, I don't know what's worse, Dynamite or fucking SmackDown. I'd actually put SmackDown over Dynamite at this point. I can't wait for them to go back to 3 hours, or to 2 hours from 3 hours. That's happening hopefully soon, in the next 2 weeks or so, because Braun Strowman's show is coming back. June 5th. One of those days. Thank God. No more 3-hour SmackDowns until January. Should be a welcome addition to the show, though. I don't think it's going to really help all that much. But that's why I wasn't live last night. No SmackDown review last night because I was at the House of Glory show with the Solid Monster. We were on the call for HOG Waging War. And I was actually surprised to see that HOG uploaded one of the main events. It was a double main event with Charles Mason and Joey Silver. Sweet cheeks. Joey Silver, who's definitely one of the most over baby faces that we got. He usually wrestles in the cruiserweight division. He's never been in that type of spot wrestling for a major world championship. And when I tell you that he overperformed to a point where if he's not considered for main events going forward, I don't know what we're doing. Seriously. I was so lucky to be a part of that and be in the building, man. I was legitimately marking out. Because I'm the type of guy, when I'm on commentary, I don't like to know any of the results. I don't talk to nobody. I don't want to know the results. I don't want to know anything. Just give me the names of who's performing tonight and give me the match order and just leave me alone. Because I feel like when I don't know anything that's going on, I think the most beautiful thing is a genuine reaction. And that's what I always try to deliver. And the match is actually up on their YouTube channel. It's over 25 minutes or so. Go and check it out. I would highly recommend it. I mean, I would put it up there as far as some of the greatest main events that we've ever done. And I know Mason is a bad guy, and I know Mason's a heel. And we're not supposed to like the bad guys, but I myself am a bad guy, and I always appreciate the bad guys because it's very difficult to be a bad guy. You get a lot of hate, you get a lot of bullshit. But I got to give Charles Mason his due, man. He is tremendous. How Charles Mason's not signed to a major promotion right now is absolutely fucking criminal. I've been saying that for years. And he's only getting better. So I don't know when it's going to happen, but it needs to happen soon. And someone needs to get their fucking head out of their ass and sign the fucking guy and give him a lot of money to go do what he's got to do. And then Joey Silverman, I told him after the show was over last night, I was so fucking proud, man. That was a star-making performance. I never heard that building rumble like that for a potential title change in all my years doing commentary. At one point, Solomonster was legitimately speechless. Like, I think Jason, for like a good 5 seconds, got lost in the moment during one of those dangerously close near falls, man. It was... You had to be there to believe it, man. You had to be there to feel it. Honestly, there was just this energy in the building that I can't even explain. There was a pile driver spot on a bar in the back of the fucking club, from Mason to Silver. And you heard it just vibrate through the building. And then Mason, he went right to the ring, wanted a count out, and the crowd, I never seen anything like this, man. This was fucking unbelievable to me. The crowd assisted Joey Silver from the bar and crowd surfed him to the fucking ring so he could make the 10 count. Unbelievable stuff, man. I would highly recommend you go check it out. Go check it out. Support House of Glory. There is nobody on the indies doing what they're doing right now. The level of matches, the top quality matches that Brian XL, Amazing Red are putting together, man, there is nobody on the indies putting shit together like that. And I'm not just saying that because I work there. You got to see the matches that he's putting together, and wait till you see what he's got coming up, man. It's gonna blow everybody away. We got our biggest show of the year coming up in August. It's gonna be fucking killer. So again, I was so happy to be a part of that, man. It was tremendous. And I will say, beyond a shadow of a doubt, if you're watching Friday Night SmackDown and not watching House of Glory when we're on Triller TV Plus, man, you're missing out. We're doing better shit and more exciting shit than when we watch Friday Night SmackDown. We're putting them to shame. As far as the level of excitement, not even close. Not even close. So again, I want to thank everybody for the support, everybody that tuned in on Triller TV Plus, everybody that came up to me and Jason for a quick chat and a picture. You guys are great, man. We love everybody. And I can't wait to be back at it again, man. We're going to be there, Chicago, June 19th at the Logan Square Auditorium. Jason and I will be in Chicago in just 3 weeks. So hopefully we will see you, if you're attending, see you at Logan Square Auditorium. Follow me on social media at JD206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you go and check out all the great content on the channel. We've uploaded a couple bangers this week, guys. We covered the Ludwig Kaiser arrest, which clearly didn't do anything to suppress El Grande Americano. They're throwing this guy parades in Mexico. I may actually review the show next Saturday. I haven't watched full episodes. I've watched bits and pieces, but I'm definitely, without a shadow of a doubt,
3 weeks of prison here. I'm the one
watching that show next Saturday, man. Mask versus mask. El Grande Kaiser versus El Grande Gable. We're going to talk about it next Saturday. I think it's going to be a must.
Oh, I think both sides.
We also talked about WWE's desire to get back into business with Enzo and Cass. Yes, Enzo Amore and Big Cass on their way back potentially to WWE. And now all of a sudden WWE wants to revitalize their tag team division. This is after they fired half of their division. Are you really going to put the effort and resources into rebuilding the division, or are you bringing in Enzo and Cass to be more theme song merchants and entrance merchants? And to sell merchandise, which is it? Because if you're bringing in a solid tag team, I hope you actually have plans to revitalize tag team wrestling. Emphasis on tag team.
I think we know that doesn't have any chance.
We're going to check out those videos, man. Some of you actually reached out to me, and shout out to those that did. Some of you reached out to me and said the Enzo and Cass video, the tag team division video that we uploaded yesterday was one of my best videos of the year. Go check it out. Go see what everybody's talking about. I also uploaded all these to iTunes and Spotify, so you guys just want the audio. It's all up there for you. Show your support, and let's start moving up the charts, man. Love to see it. Thank you for the support. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We're going to hang out at the end of the show in this slow month. During these slow times, the super chat is the best way to support what we do here. Or, if you don't want to do that, buy a t-shirt, because we got some brand new t-shirts, man. Tuesday Night Titans, the best of the best, now available. Our new retro line is off and running, man. Little take on Metallica's Ride the Lightning there with the Tuesday Night Titans logo. Jason's hair looking spot on in that picture there on the t-shirt. Me? I got no hair. I do, but my baseball cap is all that's needed. So make sure you guys go and get that. Bonfire is no longer the home. We are now on fourthwall.com. Link is down in the description. Go and get your new Best of the Best Tuesday Night Titans t-shirt. Now available on fourthwall.com. Link is in the description, or if you see the shop, hopefully you do, right underneath the video player where you may be watching me right now. So go and get yours today. Fourthwall.com. And once again, please hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button down below, and turn on the bell for all notifications.
You don't want people on the jury trying to acquit him, because everyone justified his actions. More than 10% or 20%.
No AI generation here for t-shirts. No AI generation here for t-shirts. We don't do that. We don't do that. I may dabble in my thumbnails and use kind of AI influence and get some ideas for the thumbnails, but that's about it. And that's a great resource to have. I know a lot of people are abusing AI for one reason or another, doing bad things with AI. The only thing I will ever dabble with as far as artificial intelligence is thumbnails, and that's it. That's it. That could be a useful tool for content creation. So, I know it's going to be something that is going to be, it's just going to be there, it's going to be part of our everyday lives, but if you abuse anything, man, it starts to become not good, you know? So please don't abuse it. Use it to help. Use it to enhance. Don't use it to rely. Don't rely on the AI. Seriously. I seen something today where, I don't know who it was, there's a bunch of AI-generated channels with a bunch of AI-generated voiceovers, man. That's fucking terrible. If you're watching that kind of shit, that's the type of shit I'm talking about. That's a bad use of AI. Like, if you can't bring yourself to actually create the actual content, and you need to rely on AI-generated voice to read a script that was probably also written by an AI-generated program, you're in the wrong line of business, bro. Nobody wants to watch robots. Nobody wants to hear someone that's not human. We are very much human here. T-shirts will be done by actual designers and artists. The layouts that you see here, the venue, and everything else that's coming in the pipeline, like my mother's basement, like the OTS venue, like the Dark Horse, These are worked on by legit human beings. This is not AI generated.
Well, we had the
Do not rely on it.
Well, it's only for
Do not
we
use
had the
it
program for
and
reason
use
to
it
tell kids
like these people are.
if you keep committing
Seriously.
crimes like that, you
It's
can
awful.
locked up.
It's awful. Very sloppy shops. See? My iPhone is talking to me because I mentioned artificial intelligence, and now my phone is speaking to me. Siri is legitimately speaking to me. Your phones are spying on you anyway. Your cameras are spying on you. The CIA is probably listening to everything that we're talking about right now. You're never alone, man. You're never alone. Let's get into this Saturday night's main event. I thought this was a solid show, but like I said in the open, no real surprises here. We start at the top. 6-woman tag team match. Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley versus B-Fab, Jade Cargill, and Michin. The not-so-baddies. Now, I will say this. I thought the women here actually overperformed, because nothing we've seen up until this point has been even remotely interesting. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, I'm just waiting for a split. I'm waiting for a breakup. I hope it's Alexa. I think Charlotte deserves a babyface run. She's gone through so much shit, and she's gotten a lot of hate from me included, but I'm actually enjoying this Charlotte Flair a lot more than the heel Charlotte Flair. We've been there, done that, seen that. I think Alexa is a better heel than she is a babyface, and I think Charlotte has actually done very well as a babyface. Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill, I'm not really all that enthused that we're getting a rematch. I didn't really care for it going into Mania, even though their Mania match was probably Jade's best match. But she was in there with Rhea, so I'm not really surprised. And now we're getting the rematch at Clash in Italy. I do not think that we're getting a title change at Clash in Italy next week. I think Rhea Ripley is going to retain the championship, and I don't think they put it on her to only take it off of her legitimately a month later. But I thought the women here overperformed, and I thought this ended up actually being a very good 6-woman tag team match, but like I said, nothing interesting coming in, so they didn't really have anywhere else to go but up.
I don't know what's going here. God big and fucking after me too. But it's over.
So Rhea Ripley and B-Fab kicked things off here. B-Fab was in there, missed a pump kick. Rhea Ripley took her down with a big clothesline. Bliss comes in. She took out B-Fab with a head scissor. Michin tags in. Bliss took her out with a big stiff knee to the face. Charlotte then tagged in, so all the baby faces got a little bit of a merry-go-round going here on the not-so-baddies. Flair tagged in, rolled Michin around in the ring, and I thought she was going to do the devil's kiss, or the not-so-devil's kiss. Charlotte Flair has no devil's kiss. But there's no Stephanie Becker, so she figured she could maybe put a little spin on the move. The setup is the same, but then she started rolling Michin around in some head scissor takeovers. So I actually thought that was quite nice. Charlotte may be onto something with her own version of the devil's kiss. The setup is the same, but the move is not. So she did that, and she dragged Michin around the ring for a little bit. Cargill comes in, and she took down Flair. Quick tag out. The less we see of Jade, the better. So Michin comes back in. Charlotte found herself being beaten down by the heels here, and they really kind of tagged in and tagged out, and they beat up Charlotte Flair for a little bit. Flair cleared the corner, and she created some separation here, hopefully to make a tag to her team. Michin got a head scissor from the top turnbuckle. She went to finish her off, but Flair countered. B-Fab tagged in, and she got to Rhea Ripley to knock her off the apron, and Charlotte was not able to make the tag. So, they both get up, they pop up and deliver pump kicks at the same time. They're both down, and Flair. This was the opening she needed to tag in Rhea Ripley, who came in with a lot of offense here. She worked over both Michin and B-Fab. Clothesline, slams, riptide. Ripley hits a missile dropkick, sending Michin to the outside. So she sets up the riptide. Cargill comes in and caused the distraction. Michin tried for a big hurricanrana. Ripley took care of that and countered it. Meechin ended up spiking Rhea Ripley for a 2 count. Ripley was able to eventually tag into Alexa Bliss. Bliss hits a tornado DDT. She gets a 2 count. Meechin tagged in B-Fab, who was in the clutches of a Sister Abigail, and hits a DDT on Bliss to get out of it. Meechin tagged back in. They went for a big double team move. Bliss countered it into a double DDT. She tagged in Charlotte, who came in off the top rope and took out all three with a big crossbody. Meechin recovered, hits Flair with a Styles Clash, which looked very nice. Shout out to AJ Styles on commentary there by Michael Cole. Rhea Ripley broke up the pin. Cargill comes in, started spamming super kicks, took everybody out until Flair caught her with a boot to the face. Cargill tags in and Rhea Ripley tags in, so now we're getting a little preview of Clash in Italy. So they trade blows back and forth. Ripley came out on top with a riptide. She stacked Cargill up. Meechin broke up the pin. I thought this was going to be it. But Meechin broke up the pin. Flair took out B-Fab. And Ripley and Charlotte have this little tension between them. They have this tension coming into this tag team match. And there's some tension right now here towards the end. So they eventually respect each other. B-Fab comes in, Meechin comes in, and as a I respect you, you respect me type of deal, double fallaway slam to the not-so-baddies. So they embraced, Alexa Bliss embraced, everybody's on the same page, and there's this big hug fest in the middle of the ring. Cargill said, fuck that. She wiped everybody out. She took out Flair, she took out Alexa Bliss, and then she ended up hitting Jaded on Rhea Ripley. So big boot, the big pump kick first. Rhea Ripley sold the shit out of the pump kick. And she sold the shit out of the Jaded. She bounced off the fucking mat, and I think sold that move better than anybody I've seen. So Jade covers her 1, 2, 3. And Jade gets the win. Kind of silly that everybody was hugging, but I'm assuming it gets more heel heat on Jade Cargill, being that everybody finally got on the same page, and Jade said, fuck that. Jaded 1, 2, 3, and she pins the WWE Women's Champion. Now, because of this, I do not think Jade Cargill is winning the Women's Championship. She got her win here over Rhea Ripley. And I think Rhea going into Italy is going to retain the championship. I don't know how. I don't know if they beat Jade clean, but I think Rhea Ripley's going to end up retaining the championship. It would be stupid to take the belt off Rhea Ripley after just belting her at WrestleMania. I don't think WWE wants to go into SummerSlam with Jade Cargill as the women's champion. And in fact, this feud with Jade and Rhea, I'm really over it. After Italy, I'm over it. I'd love to see JC Jane maybe slotted in there, or Blake Monroe, if they can heat her up. I know she was on SmackDown and had 10 seconds of a fucking backstage view? Some debut for Blake Monroe. Who thought of that? This is why I said the creative team is in fucking shambles. Maybe it ends up being Blake Monroe. Maybe it ends up being Jordan Grace, if they even remember that she's still employed. So we'll see what happens there. I'm over the Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley stuff, but the heels win here and get the one-up on Rhea Ripley 1 week before Clash in Italy. Backstage, Ethan Page was interviewed about his match with Penta. And I gotta say, man, Ethan Page is really... He's grown on me, but... I feel like he's gonna fucking kill it on the main roster. I really do. Ethan Page, you can already tell that the company is very invested in Ethan Page. It is before he signed with WWE that there wasn't really a lot of momentum for him, because he was, banished to Ring of Honor. They didn't know what to do with him. They barely even noticed him. So he ends up leaving AEW, comes to NXT. They gave him the NXT Championship in just a couple of months, which I thought was ridiculous. I didn't know if there was a real reason behind that outside of, haha, we took this guy and we made him the NXT Champion. Now he's on the brand that beats AEW in the ratings every week. Haha. I thought they did it for petty reasons. I don't even think he really came into himself as the NXT champion. I didn't even find him to be NXT championship worthy. When I became a fan of Ethan Page is when they started to really kind of focus on him around the North American Championship. That's what they really should have started to do first. But they went right for the World Championship. I guess at that point, maybe they needed World Championship contenders because they were short on World Championship contenders, being that they just called up Carmelo and Braun, and it wasn't going to be long before Obafemi was called up. Trick Williams, he was on his way out. Dragunov was on his way out. So, Ethan Page shows up. He kills it for his North American Championship title run. Gets called up to the main roster. And I feel like he's going to break out very, very soon. It's not going to take long at all. That IC title is eventually coming to him very, very soon. So Kathy Kelly had a backstage interview with Ethan Page. How determined he is to walk out the biggest night of his career with the Intercontinental title. Page says he's very determined. However, it's also the biggest night in Kathy's
You're
career.
wearing an NYPD
Because
hat and
she's
an
in the
NYPD
presence
shirt.
of the man
An
who's
NYPD.
bringing the spotlight back to the Intercontinental Championship.
He's wearing an NYPD jacket and an NYPD hat. Who the NYPD?
At one point tonight, they showed a very beautiful video package highlighting the importance of the Intercontinental Championship. This was before the actual Ethan Page and Penta match. I thought because they showed this that there was absolutely going to be a title change. But I like that WWE is still focusing on how important the Intercontinental Championship is. I don't think WWE really lives by the words that they say in these vignettes. I think the title could be a little bit more important. But when WWE wants to focus on it, and you look back at all the prior Intercontinental Championships in the history of the belt, you realize that it is never going to be anywhere close to what it used to be. And I'm talking about like the late 80s, early 90s. That was its glory year, or glory phase, its glory years. I don't think it's ever really reached that level of importance. As WWE adds more titles, the Intercontinental title and its prestige and its value decreases. That happens with anything. The more you add to the championship pool, the less important the championships become. And no video package is going to help alleviate that. I wish they understood that. Ethan Page is great. That was the one match out of everything I was looking forward to most. So Ruka. She tells Kathy Kelly that she's not taking Becky Lynch lightly tonight. However, is Becky Lynch ready for Sol Ruka? She acknowledges the fact that Becky is one of the greatest female wrestlers of all time. Sol says that it's going to take one soul snatcher, and that will show Becky Lynch that the new generation is here, and they're not going to sit around and wait. They're going to snatch it. Okay. I'm a big Sol Ruka fan. She's got to work on her promo, though. I'm not quite convinced of her promo work. Becky Lynch versus Sol Ruka. This was a non-title match. We got a little bit of a confusion on social media when Becky and Sol had that exchange on Monday night. Becky flat out said verbatim that there will be no Intercontinental Championship on the line. And literally, while we were live on Tuesday Night Titans, there was a graphic that went up on WWE's Twitter account and said that the title would be on the line. And then WWE quickly snatched that down, and Becky called it out saying the graphics department are a bunch of fools, and, you know, there's a conspiracy going on. I said what I said. There will be no Intercontinental title on the line. And that was the right move. I don't know how you could announce something on Monday and then change it on Tuesday, and there's no television in between Monday and Saturday concerning Becky Lynch and Sol Ruka. So even if they did make it a championship match, it wouldn't have made any sense because there's no storyline after what Becky already said on Monday. The WWE social media team needs to get their fucking head out of the clouds. This This was definitely more of a setup than it was a match. Though I was also looking forward to seeing how this match would be, being that the last time we saw Sol Ruca on a Saturday Night's Main Event was in December when she wrestled Bayley. She wrestled really good. Everybody was really convinced that Sol Ruca is ready for the main roster. I don't think people are really convinced so far with her main roster stay after a month. Becky throws the IC title at Sol before the bell rings, so this match is not yet official. Jessica Carr is the referee of this match, as she always is for Becky's matches. Becky transitioned into a ground and pound on Sol. She starts arguing with the referee. Sol punches Becky. Sol ducks a clothesline from Becky. And Sol
What the
hits
fuck
a
is going on here with
spinning
this
face
shit? Nah, I'm kidding.
Sol dodges a step up in Zaguri.
I probably should stop the video. I think I made this long enough. I don't make it too long. Go through all these matches. Just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. I will do my Night Wild live stream. I will play Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
And then she hits a springboard crossbody block, and then sweeps out the legs of Becky. Sol super kicks Becky, and then Becky launches Sol over the top rope in retaliation.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop the video until that time. I'll see y'all later.